From Fox. Trump DOJ opens mortgage fraud probe into Eric Swalwell as congressman vows to keep fighting back. The DOJ under Trump has opened a probe into Swalwell over alleged mortgage fraud. In response, Swalwell said he was not surprised to be targeted by Trump. Quote, is the most vocal critic of Donald Trump over the last decade and is the only person who still has a surviving lawsuit against him. The only thing I am surprised about is that it took him this long to come after me. Like James Comey, John Bolton, Adam Schiff, and Lisa Cook, Letitia James, and dozens more to come, I refuse to live in fear in what was once the freest country in the world.
What a dork.
Of course, I will not end my lawsuit against him, and I will not stop speaking out against the president and speaking up for Californians. As Mark Twain said, patriotism is supporting your country all the time and your government when it deserves it. Mr. President, do better, be better.
He's such
the probe, which was first reported by NBC, will investigate allegations of millions of dollars in loans and refinancing, which were based on Swalwell declaring that his primary residence was in Washington, D.C. A person familiar with the referral told the news organization. According to the report, director of the Federal Housing Agency, Bill Pulte, sent Attorney General Pam Bondi a letter on Wednesday accusing Swalwell of possibly making false or misleading statements on loan documents. Heavens me, I can't believe Swalwell would do something so untoward.
Well, I just want to point, and this is the first thing that went like, what a door. Every time I hear a statement from this guy, I feel that way. But I have been the biggest critic of Donald Trump. Come on, bro. Don't try to like put yourself up on that lefty throne to pander to your audience. You've been the biggest critic. And also, why are all of these people investigated for mortgage fraud? Why is this something that they're able to pull charges up against them? The market's gotten so bad that like, and these people have destroyed the economy so horribly that when like Gen Alpha and Zoomer crooked politicians come to office, like they won't even be able to investigate them for mortgage fraud because they're not even able to get one. That's how I feel about the situation. He's in a privileged position to be investigated.
For? Yeah, I mean,
like, the evidence
for defaulting on their client payments.
Like,
Guys, look, this is the worst Russiagate truther in Congress, or tied with that other guy I hate. Isn't he also from California? The other horrible congressman, the worst Russiagate guys.
Listen, just real quick. People may be asking themselves, I don't know who this guy is. Who is he, Tim? We've got Venice.ai. You know, in times like this, you need an AI system you can trust not to censor what you're looking for. And Venice AI is not going to censor nor store your private details. While many of these other AI platforms, they're going to give you political answers or use Reddit, I kid you not, as their source material. Sam Altman said ChatGPT will get to know your every life. ChatGPT is the former director of the NSA sitting on their board right now. Edward Snowden called this a willful, calculated betrayal of the rights of every person on Earth. I'm not going to name the device, but it's owned by Amazon. It listens to us. It recommends products based on our conversations. Meta retargets us based on our browsing and engagement history. Why do we assume AI is going to be any different? Venice utilizes leading open source AI models to deliver text, code, and image generation to your web browser. No downloads, no installations or anything. It's just Venice.ai. Private and permissionless. They don't spy on you or censor the AI. Messages are encrypted and your conversation history is stored only in your browser. AI can be extremely valuable, but we shouldn't need to give up our privacy to use it. So I recommend Venice Pro Plan. The Pro Plan unlocks the full platform and features including PDF uploads, summaries or insights, the ability to turn off safe mode for unhindered image generation, the ability to change how Venice interacts with you by modifying the system prompt, limitless text, and high image limits. So check out Venice.ai/Tim. You can get 20% off the Pro Plan. And I will stress this. I know a lot of people, when you hear that it's unfiltered, uncensored images, they think naughty things. We're not talking about that even. We're talking about perhaps you want to make an image of a politician, or not even a crazy one. Just maybe you want to make a picture of Donald Trump riding a bicycle. Many of these AIs won't let you do it. They outright censor that, say no. So check out Venice.ai/Tim. He is this guy right here.
The evidence is uncontradicted that the president used taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help him cheat an election. And the complaint that I've heard from the evidence is uncontradicted that the president used taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help him cheat an election. And the complaint that I've heard from the evidence...
Pause when he's speaking is crazy.
Yeah, he had to make sure he didn't. They claimed it was a mug sliding across the table.
Oh, yeah.
But look at Swalwell.
Grimaces.
Is uncontradicted that the president used taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help him cheat an election. And the complaint that I've heard from the evidence...
He couldn't hold it. He couldn't even hold it.
Yo,
he's spewing the same thing out of both ends.
Everybody farts. I got such a grudge against
yes, but not
all the
everybody farts
Russiagators.
on live TV.
I don't care if they broke the law. Find something to persecute them for. anyone who was involved in Russiagate, all of them. And it begins with, because everybody blames Hillary Clinton because she's the most evil person in the world. But the person who really started it was John Brennan. And that was what came out in the documents, that they finally started leaking out the secret addendum, the classified addendum to the Durham report, and all that proved that it was Brennan, the head of the CIA, who started this in the end of 15. And at least as far as we know for a fact, Hillary's team didn't even get on board till February or March. So it was the CIA and the FBI that started it, and then the Democrats were like, oh, we can help make this worse. Unless she may have had a secret meeting with Brennan that we don't know about or whatever. But as far as we know, Brennan and the CIA were the ones who started it. And that nobody should ever be over that. That's no different than like Waco or lying us into Iraq or shooting Jack Kennedy in the face in Dallas or whatever. That like they all but shot Trump in the face in Dallas with that Russiagate hoax. And it was 100% lie. And it was meant, as they said themselves, it was meant, well, if we can't do a coup, and they didn't say coup, but if we can't overthrow him through the 25th Amendment, at least we can rein him in by continuing to pretend to investigate him for another 2 years. I mean, imagine you get elected the president of the United States, and then the CIA and the FBI just frame you for treason and just completely prevent you from exercising your authority whatsoever. Like
I hear you, but at this point, it's a fairly demoralizing current state of events happening right now in the sphere for a variety of reasons.
I carry these vendettas around, man. I have trouble.
Trump coming out and being like, bring on the H-1Bs, bring in the Chinese national college students. It's just kind of like, oh, yeah. Well, we're cooked, I guess, because that's the economy is worse off than most people realize. Yep. Gen Z is checking out. The polls are showing this, that they don't care anymore. They feel like even Trump won't do anything for them. And you know what? I don't disagree, because when Trump goes on TV and says there's no talent here, their response is going to be like, okay, see you later. Trump just lost the midterms.
Yeah. We talked about that last night. If kids aren't able to buy a house till they're 38 years old, that's the average age of someone getting their first house. 40 is it? Yeah. And BlackRock's buying houses. You're going to see people that are homeless breaking into the houses owned by BlackRock and squatting, or there'll be a communist. That's where people are going socialist, is because of this unfettered corporatism or corporatocracy.
It's inflationary money, man, is at the core of all of this stuff. They debase the currency, and then every other thing is trying to make up for that. Why do we even have the massive immigration problem? We have the massive immigration problem because it's a conspiracy between, of course, the Democrats want all these new voters, but big business wants to try to ameliorate the upward pressure on wages. If you run a big company, you need your lower wage workers to be afraid to ask for a raise, and there's upward pressure on all prices.
But it's also,
so that's how and then we have all the problems.
It's also the
immigration, and then we gotta do more police state action against that, and on and on.
With the petrodollar, we're basically telling the rest of the world, use our currency. It's good for something. The U.S. government is guaranteeing that if you have this currency, it can buy things for you. The problem is, if there are no people in this country and the economy shrinks, the petrodollar is worthless and nobody's going to trade for them. Right. So they say, flood the country with any and everybody so that China will find value in our dollars.
And to your point, Scott, today, we were talking about this on PCC today. They made the last penny ever today.
Right.
So they'll no longer be making pennies because it costs 4 cents to make a penny. And that's specifically because of inflation.
Right. Did you know?
Because a penny is now worth a tenth of a penny.
Yeah.
That's why. Did you guys know this? If you go to a bank with $100 and change it into a bunch of pennies, bring the pennies home and smelt them down, you'll go to prison for 100 years.
Yes,
exactly.
You will.
Yeah.
Yes, you will.
You will go to jail if you do.
But the fact that we have the Federal Reserve that is consistently saying we have to have some kind of inflation, right? And so, as opposed to hard money, which you are extremely well informed about. This kind of behavior by the government is incentivized. Yeah. And so they're always going to be trying to manipulate interest rates. They're going to try to get people to borrow money. And all this does is drive down the value of everyone's dollars. Right. And that's part of the reason why we have the stock market bubble. Well, now we have an everything bubble, but that's part of the reason why the stock market continuously hits brand new highs all the time, because people that have cash don't want to hold on to cash.
Right. And look, this is what Ian just said too, is that to the youth, they're told their whole life, this is capitalism. So what's the opposite of that? So then they start moving further left, or they move further right toward nationalism, away from free markets and property rights and what really provides
100%.
prosperity. But it's the funny money. It's George Washington on the dollar, because it's the government forcing you to accept it. You can only pay your taxes in
reserve notes,
in their currency. So they force us to use it, and it's disrupting essentially all.
You know what I hope?
At this
I hope that the G5 magnetic storm hits soon and just shuts down all technology, and then we can be farmers again.
Bro, I just got my campaign funded, dog. Like, I need to make this show.
There's a lot of good
You
technology.
need to buy
on the horizon.
chickens and get some arable land.
If you can either have chickens with their funny little faces.
I was thinking on the way over, it's like our job, well, particularly your job, because you're so famous right now, to keep morale up of the world, because technology is advancing so fast. I think a lot of the problems are going to get solved.
Dude, AI, it's. Have you guys seen Nano Banana?
Well, can we talk about the fact that the picture that you just posted of me on Twitter is not real?
That's real. That's not AI. That's real.
Scott took out his
Scott kissed
Israel
the wall.
flag
He
and
got the
carries
call.
them everywhere, and he.
I can
Oh,
see.
wait.
I can see in the replies, people were like, "I knew it. I never trusted this guy."
I should have made it that you answered the phone and then.
Oh yeah.
So for those that don't get the reference, I tweeted an AI video of Scott pulling out an Israeli flag, because that's how crazy it is right now with AI. But Nano Banana 2 apparently got leaked for a few hours.
What is that?
Google's new AI for video and photo, which is so perfect. We're done. We are done.
Oh man.
Like, done is an understatement.
Really?
Like, people were posting a video of like Trump and Epstein playing in a jazz band, and someone posted a picture of a whiteboard with the beginning of an equation, and it said solve the equation, and it was perfect, indistinguishable from a real photo. We are cooked.
I'm not quite as black pilled on AI, because I think that once the novelty of it wears off, because it is still very new and people are learning how to have prompts make it do interesting things and stuff. I think that once the novelty wears off, there's going to be a lot of people that are creatives that are going to use it as a tool. We made the same remarks in the music industry about, synthesizers are going to kill live music. They're going to stop doing it, and DJs were going to kill live music.
This
and
is totally different.
Disagree.
I was watching videos of unarmed black men being shot. That was AI, and I could tell it was AI, but it looked so dang real. And all of the comments were like, "I can't believe this is still happening." It got to the point now where people know that videos of black men being killed by police go viral, and so they're making fake ones. And with all the body camera footage that we have, it even says Axion with the date, and the cop pulls the gun out and he's like, "Don't move, don't move." The guy's like, "I got nothing," shoots and kills him. And I was like, "Holy crap. That's an AI video, and you can barely notice." And it's got tens of thousands of shares, thousands of comments, and tens of thousands of likes. And the comments, I would say the overwhelming majority at the top were just saying things like, "I can't believe it. This is wrong." A few people were like, "This is AI."
Yeah. They're going to have to make it a very serious crime to knowingly create and distribute false
First Amendment,
videos.
you can't do it.
I mean, look, people fell for your AI of me just now, where you can tell my face looks all weird by the end.
That's
of
real,
it.
Scott.
But like, they still, some people
you really
still bought
did
it. And so look, I'm a bit torn. I think I definitely agree with your point about that. You're never going to be able to believe video or audio again, at least very soon here. We're like really at that point. But like, as far as the whole thing about them taking over kind of everything and like the full black pill on it, I'm not really there, because it seems totally incompetent to me, which maybe that's just what I use it for. But AI is virtually always wrong. I got to argue with it about anything when I'm trying to like actually make some progress. But I'm not, I know a lot of people use it for a lot of different tasks.
Someone took the video of you and changed it to you burning the Israeli flag.
Oh, really?
That's
Why did you do that, Scott?
The age of information.
I was trying to
Well, that means you're getting deported, right?
sprinkler in here and it didn't work.
Now you're getting deported because you burnt the Israeli flag.
Get out of here.
I was born here.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.